Welcome back to Peter Rabbit again. So this time I want to talk a little bit about some of the inspections required, whether it be for new construction or remodel. In-house, we do a number of inspections. So different phases, we will have our entire staff, our crew come out. We'll run through checklists. We'll look at fit and finish. We'll check specs. We'll check locations. We'll make sure things are centered. So that's more of a cosmetic thing. We also look for code and other little things that might affect layout of the house. So another inspection that happens are jurisdictional inspections. Those inspections are done by city inspectors. They don't catch everything. They try to. It's not their job to catch everything. That's our responsibility. So we take it seriously, going through and checking our plans and specs and verifying prior to having an inspection requested through the city. Once that city inspector comes out and they come out and look, they might find some things that we didn't notice, and we fix them on the spot. And the trick to moving past that and creating a good relationship with those inspectors is to address them immediately. So walk through the house with them, know your plans, know your specs, mark things in advance. If there's shear walls, anything like that, mark out what the nailing pattern is. Know that information, have that dialogue with the inspector. Talk to the inspector throughout his process. Let him do his thing, but take notes. I go through when he's calling something out, as simple as maybe we got a stair riser that's not the right height. I'm gonna write that down on my notepad, my electronic notes. I'll take a verbal note, and I call the subcontractor immediately and say, hey, I need to get this thing fixed. What's your availability? And I give a report back to that inspector before he leaves of what's gonna happen. Sometimes that allows us to keep the project moving. He'll say, okay, I trust that you're gonna get this done. Send me a picture once you've got it accomplished. Or he might say, you know what, it's cool, I'll catch it at a later time at a different inspection. If you don't come prepared like that, they might write you a big list, get halfway through it, and say, you know what, you're not ready, recall this inspection for another day. So that's a trick to keeping the project moving forward. The other inspections that we use as a builder is a third-party inspector. So we hire a company to come out and do a third-party independent inspection. They're not biased to the homeowner, they're not biased to us, or to the city, the jurisdiction that we're building in. They'll come through and they'll just make their list. They'll check every system, and we will make sure that we go through that inspection report once we receive it. And if there's anything that stands out to us that doesn't meet our standards, we'll address it. And we also keep that as record for future reference. The last thing that we like to do is we use Matterport scans. And those Matterport scans are very valuable to us in our build process. Our builds last sometimes 2 years or more. And so, for example, in this house at Peter Rabbit, prior to starting any construction in here, any demo, anything that we did a Matterport scan. We actually relied on that Matterport scan to create some of the CADs that our architect was using and designer. So it's helpful in that manner. You can also transfer it over to Bluebeam and use Bluebeam to pull points and measurements, do overlays. So it's kind of a nice resource to have. So we'll do one of those prior to starting the project. We'll do one prior to covering the walls. So we'll get all the rough-ins and mechanical, electrical, plumbing, anything that's buried beneath the walls and the ceiling, we'll get in that Matterport scan. And we do a final one at the end. So we have a reference, and we also have progress, as well as having a finished product that we can show the homeowner at the end. It's nice to have for warranty purposes. If we ever have to find something, you can use a combination of Matterport and Bluebeam and go in and find exactly where that outlet in the wall is buried without having to do any damage. You can go right to it. So those are our inspections. Thanks for coming out again at Peter Rabbit. I'll see you next time.